have a very special video for you today. I'm sitting here with my friend Ahmed, who is going to quiz me on my Ramadan knowledge. And hopefully today, you and I will learn more about Ramadan. Hi, welcome to Colosseum. I have a special video for you. I'm here with Ahmed, and he is from Egypt, and he's going to be asking me questions about Ramadan.
Okay, so first question is, when does Ramadan start?
When does Ramadan start? It switches every year due to them following the lunar calendar. So I think it varies from like 10 days every year.
And how do Muslims know when Ramadan starts?
So it's by the moon. They have somebody spot the moon. I don't remember what time of day. And if they see the crescent, that's beginning of Ramadan.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
We know it by the crescent. That's correct.
Hmm.
Third question is, when do people fast?
When do people fast?
Mm-hmm.
They fast for like the whole month of Ramadan, and on a daily basis, they fast from when the sun comes up to when the sun goes down.
That's good. From sunrise to sunset.
Yes.
That's right. Okay. So now, what are three things you can't do during Ramadan?
You can do?
You cannot.
Cannot do. You can't drink or eat while the sun is up. You can't gossip or, I guess, swear and participate in like negative behavior. And then what is the third thing? I know you can't have sex while the sun is up. Is that right?
Yep, that's correct. So in general, avoid doing any bad things.
Bad thing?
Any sinful actions, completely avoid it. It ruins your whole fasting.
It ruins it?
Don't lie, don't gossip. And that's in general, it's not only Ramadan. But Ramadan is more, there's a lot more emphasis. Like if you lie, if you gossip, if you cheat, any of that ruins your whole fasting. So fasting is complete dedication to God. Avoiding any sin, avoiding any distractions, whatever it could be, cheating, gossiping, lying, whatever it can be. All of that is very prohibited in Ramadan.
Yeah.
So it's not only about food and drinks. A lot of things you should avoid as well.
Yeah. Do you know why there's an emphasis on not gossiping or lying and how that's sinful?
It's emphasis on sins in general, any sin in general. Doesn't have to be gossip, doesn't have to be lying. Whatever is a sin, whatever is considered a sin in Islam, that's should be avoided.
Okay, so
and that's in general, not only Ramadan. But Ramadan there is a lot more emphasis on that. But in general, any sinful action is completely prohibited in Ramadan. It's prohibited in general, but Ramadan it could ruin your whole fasting, which you already put so much effort in.
Yeah, so it's like you're not going to be forgiven if you do this during this month because you need to focus on not doing that.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so next one. Can non-Muslims celebrate Ramadan?
Can non-Muslims celebrate Ramadan? Ooh. I would say they can, but they need to be educated on it. Because some people will just do it so they won't eat. So I'm going to say yeah. Yes.
You can. You absolutely can. And it's a good opportunity to learn about Islam. If you have Muslim friends and you're trying to learn about Islam, I think Ramadan is a good opportunity to witness the journey of Ramadan, how Muslims do it, why they do it. And I had a lot of non-Muslim friends who tried to participate in Ramadan. They checked out the mosques, they went to the prayers. And it's a quite interesting experience for them. And I think the best way to learn about Islam is to meet Muslims, learn from them directly.
So you don't have to be Muslim at all to participate in Ramadan?
I mean, if you're a Muslim, then you should participate.
Yeah.
But if you're non-Muslim, you can, or you don't have to, but you can do it. There's nothing wrong with that.
So it's an open invitation to participate if you're not Muslim.
That's correct.
Okay.
Anyone is welcome to the mosque. Anyone is welcome to fast. And the mosque doesn't ask if you're Muslim or not to come and pray. Anybody's welcome. Like nobody's checking like at the gate if you're Muslim or not.
Mm.
Anybody's welcome. If you go to the mosque, you'll see people from all over the world, all of every ethnicity you can think of. You'll find it in the mosque.
Okay.
It's quite welcoming environment, I would say.
That's cool. I never knew that.
You'll see, even here in Seattle, you can go to any of the mosques here, and you'll be surprised. People from every country are there, and they are fasting together, praying together, and you'll always feel welcome, regardless of what religion you come from.
Yeah, I heard that anybody can go to the dinner after sunset, but that's cool to know that you can go to the mosque too.
Yeah, dinner is also, we call it iftar in Ramadan.
Iftar.
And anyone is welcome. You can go there, eat, and meet Muslims. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter religion, what country. Everyone is welcome. Okay, next question is, what is a meal called before fast?
A meal called before the fast. So is this like before the sun comes up? Is it like Sahur?
Suhoor.
Sahur?
Yep. That's what usually Muslims eat to like prepare for fasting. So that's like the meal we usually eat before fasting, so we can withstand fasting until sunset.
So do you have to eat anything special at that time?
I think it's a cultural dependent. For example, in Egypt, we have a particular food that's known for helping you stand hunger for a long time. So I think it depends on the country.
Okay.
But usually, like we eat about in Egypt. I remember when I was a kid, we used to eat like at 5 a.m. And then we could start the day after that, and it was really more than enough to withstand fasting for a whole day.
Really? How was that? Because I would say, because I haven't eaten for the whole day once, and I felt awful. So how was that for you growing up?
It's similar to like people who do intermittent fasting. It's getting common now. It's a matter of a habit. You get used to it. So when I was a kid, I did it when I was, I think, 7 years old.
Yeah.
I started doing it at 7 years old, and it was okay because everyone I know around me is doing it already. So if the environment you're in is supportive, then you don't really feel that bad. It doesn't really feel that hard. If you start early from 7, 8, 10 years old, you don't have to, by the way. Usually fasting is required once you hit puberty. But usually it's a cultural thing that kids also do. And it's not hard at all. Once you get used to it, and once you have a supportive environment, it just becomes a norm and part of your life. And that's how we grew up over there. Okay. Next question is, what's a meal called after sunset?
Sahur is sunrise.
So when Muslims break their fast, what does he call the meal?
No, I don't know. I forgot.
Called iftar.
Iftar. Okay.
Iftar in Arabic means breakfast.
Breakfast.
And since this is the first meal you're eating after fasting, so it's like a breakfast.
Okay, then.
It's called iftar in Arabic.
Okay. I was familiar with the word, but I forgot what it meant.
Yeah, it's like breakfast in English, but it's called iftar in Arabic, so usually we call it iftar.
At sunset?
Yep.
Okay.
Because your first meal, so it's kind of like a breakfast, isn't it? So that's why we call it breakfast or iftar. Okay, next one. How do you say have a blessed Ramadan in Arabic?
Have a blessed Ramadan. It has Ramadan in it. I don't remember.
It's Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak. Okay.
Mubarak means blessed in Arabic.
Okay. Yeah, I used to hear that at like the very end of Ramadan, or toward the end, in the beginning.
You'll hear it a lot. If you go to a mosque, everybody's saying Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan.
Next one. How many people observe Ramadan?
I would say 1.2 billion.
Quite close.
Is that too much or too little?
I think you could go higher, a little bit higher.
1.4 billion.
1.6 billion.
Right.
So overall, there are almost 2 billion Muslims around the world. So there are certain people can't fast. Like, for example, you're not required to fast if you're quite old. Older people are not required to fast. Young ones are not required to fast, like before puberty, they're not required. There are multiple conditions that makes you exempt from fasting. So overall, about 1.6 billion Muslims are follow fasting or are required to fast by religion. But overall, there are about 2 billion Muslims around the world. Okay. Next one. What is the large festival after Ramadan called?
It's like something. It's EID something. I don't remember the second word, but it has EID in it.
It's called Eid.
Eid
al-Fitr.
al-Fitr.
Eid means a feast. So Eid is an Arabic word for feast. And it's called Eid al-Fitr, like feast, and the name is called al-Fitr.
Okay. So do you guys just have a feast and that's it?
That's correct. After Ramadan, we have a feast. Muslims have two feasts across the year. One of them Eid al-Fitr, and another one called Eid al-Adha. And both of them has the word Eid, which means like feast or festival. And the other one called Eid al-Adha, which comes, I think, almost 1 month after Eid al-Fitr. 1-2 months after that.
So do you guys have like large like parties? Because I remember growing up at like towards the end of Ramadan, we would go to the movies, and we'll see a lot of Muslims. So do you guys like celebrate?
So we celebrate first by a prayer. We pray in the early morning during the feast, and after that we visit each other's. So you visit your family members, our family members, cousins, nephews, everyone visits each other. So it's the feast in some sense is you're reuniting with your family, our family members, people we haven't seen for a while. You see them, you go meet them, talk to them, you call them on the phone. So in that sense, it's a feast. That's how we celebrate it. And also you meet your friends, you hang out with your friends. And also part of it is you have to give money to the poor, to the ones in need. So a big part of the feast is you have to contribute financially or otherwise to the ones who are unfortunate ones. So by financially or by providing food, clothes, any type of charity. That's one main component of the feast.
Yeah, so it's like kind of like a Thanksgiving Christmas hybrid.
Probably.
Like Thanksgiving is like a feast, and we meet our family, and we connect, and then Christmas we give.
Yeah. So part of Ramadan is you also have to give a charity. That's a main component in Ramadan. Actually, outside Ramadan as well. It's something similar to taxes. The Muslims, like in addition to the taxes we pay, also have an additional taxes that, not taxes, it's a charity.
Yeah.
A percentage of your salary, you give it away to the poor.
Really?
Yeah. It's called the zakat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So like it's like every year you give a percentage away to people who are needed.
That's correct.
Oh, I never knew that.
It's not related to the taxes that we pay to the government. It's an additional money that Muslims are required to pay to the poor.
Okay.
If you're financially able, of course. Okay. Do Muslims only fast in Ramadan or any other days besides Ramadan?
I believe it's only Ramadan.
Actually, there are like a few more days in addition to Ramadan. We share a similar one with the Jewish people. The day where when Moses survived the Pharaoh, when the Pharaoh chased Moses to the sea, and Moses survived that.
Yeah.
We fast for that day to celebrate that Moses escaped from the Pharaoh. And I believe also it's a part of Judaism is they fast that day too.
Yeah.
There are a few more days that we fast beside Ramadan. That's notably that's one of them. The day where when Moses survived the Pharaoh army, when they chased Moses all the way to the Red Sea.
Okay.
So yeah, a few more days beside Ramadan.
Okay. So you guys share that day with like Jews and like Christians?
I'm not sure if Christians fast for that day or celebrate that day, but I believe Jews fast that day too.
Okay.
It's a day where when Moses survived and escaped from the Pharaoh. Do kids need to fast? What do you think?
Do kids need to fast? No, they do not. If they're like if it's before puberty.
Yeah, that's correct. Who is allowed to fast?
Who is allowed to fast?
Or is required to fast?
Required.
Let me rephrase that.
So, any able-bodied man or woman that's been through puberty and is not sick or isn't on a journey.
And in addition, women on their period are not required to fast.
Oh.
Actually, they're not supposed to fast.
They're not supposed to?
Because I think it's physically, it's like being on period is also physically demanding.
Yeah.
So yes, women on period are not required to fast. If you're old, if you're sick, if you're young, if you're a kid, you're not required to fast. I think also if you're traveling, you had a very long travel or a long trip, and you're like exhausted, you're also not required to fast.
And I also read that your trip has to be for like a good reason. Like you can't just travel so you can avoid fasting.
That's correct. Yeah. You can also sleep the whole day to avoid fasting, for example. Because if you sleep the whole day to avoid fasting, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Is charity important? What do you think?
Yeah, I think charity is important, and you give charity if you can't do Ramadan, right?
Say it again.
So like if you're sick and it's temporary and you can't do Ramadan, you can like give charity by paying for somebody's meals. Is that true?
So giving a charity is a main component of Ramadan, like whether you're fasting or not. It's like, for example, when you go to the mosque, you can, food there is free. Like when you break your fast, anyone is welcome there to eat, and the food there is free because people pay charity, and that money goes to feed the ones who breaking their fast. So you can go to any mosque in Seattle, and by the sunset you can join them and you eat for free. Who funds all of that? That's part of it for the charity. For example, also part of the charity goes for clothes and sheltering the ones who are in need. For example, anyone who needs sheltering, clothes, especially in the winter, part of the charity goes for that. Some Muslims around the world who are like had earthquakes recently, part of the charity goes for that. So the charity goes from multiple causes, and it's generally required and encouraged, whether in Ramadan or after Ramadan or before Ramadan. All right, that was great. Well, thanks, Dylan, for questions and answers.
Yeah. And with charity, do you get blessed more during Ramadan?
Yeah, it's actually one of the things about Ramadan is your charity, I think, is valued more in Ramadan. Ramadan is like for Muslims is like the month where your good deeds are worth more, and like God will reward you more for your good deeds in Ramadan. Ramadan is actually the month where Quran was given to Muslims. That's why it's a holy month for Muslims. Quran was given to Muslims during Ramadan, that particular month. So that's why it's a holy month for Muslims.
Okay, thank you and good looks for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel and share on all your social medias and interact in the comment section.
Also, let us know what's your impression about Ramadan, and if you have any Muslim friends, ask them about Ramadan and comment below what do they say about it. Thank you guys, and see you later.